Everyone, okay.
Welcome back to
Okay,
Inside.
we have to, because I've been seeing stuff. You're a PC gamer, but you also like Breath of the Wild. What is your stance on next gen games? What is your stance on frame rate? Like, how important is it to you as a gamer to have a 60 frame a second game, or does it not matter to you? There are, I don't know. Some of the people I follow on Twitter have been making fun of other people for caring about frame rate, and it's just like, man, I mean, I don't like juddering when I'm playing games. When I first started gaming, I used to play on my laptop, and I got 12 FPS and thought that was amazing. Nice. Okay, so I'll take that to mean it's not really that important to you. That's a cute emote. I need to get some emotes like that. Of course, now I know better, but yeah. Like, man, 12, that'd be rough. Yes, everyone does hate Gollum. I don't know, 60 FPS is fine in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, that seems like the goal devs should shoot for. So so when I was watching the Starfield direct, it thank you. I could tell. Yes, they're very cute. I need to I need some emotes like that. For real, for real. Some cute chibi animations or emotes. Okay, so when I was watching the Starfield direct, I was noticing some really heavy frame rate drops, and it was enough and it was enough. My brain was like, "Oh, that's very noticeable." I didn't. I watched the whole thing, and the game looks good, and the frame rate problems only seem to happen in the very beginning parts of the direct. Like, once you get into the, like, fast action combat parts, I didn't really notice any dips or anything. So like, my complaint started to go out the window. But then I get on Twitter the next day, and there are people who are like, "Man, you shouldn't care that Bethesda, you should just care that it's such a big immersive world. We shouldn't care that that it isn't 60 frames a second. You guys are just being nerds." And it's like, no, they've had 7 years to develop the game. It's touted as this, like, next gen, uh, this next gen, absolutely humongous space sim. You've got these beautiful immersive worlds. Yeah, no, I don't want to be I don't want to be surrounded in this beautiful immersive world, but every time I move the camera and move my character, the game tanks. Um, yeah, it needs some optimization work. Uh, I don't feel like it's outrageous to be like, yeah, I want my game to run at a smooth 60 FPS. And like, all of the people saying that, have they never edited a video? Have they never have they never like taken a have they never gone into their OBS settings and realized, like, the actual difference that streaming in 30 FPS as opposed to streaming in 60 FPS causes? Like, if I were in 30 FPS, or yeah, 30, this would be all like wavy and weird looking. Like, it wouldn't capture it properly. The motion wouldn't be there. It would look jarring. So I don't know. I don't think they like to do this for their titles. I don't think that's true. I don't think people hate Starfield.
Games, the only gaming news show brave enough to say that Starfield should have been called Midfield.
Is it a baseball
Shots fired, Bethesda.
reference? Who knows? But Chris, come on, that's a little rough, right? It's got 1,000 planets.
What?
1,000.
Okay. But they're procedurally generated, so who cares? The important stuff is what fills the planet.
Wasn't that over?
I mean, Todd Howard even said in his Lex Friedman interview that the scale they were working on, they would have to use procedurally generated assets.
No, that's a lot. That's a lot.
That is a lot. But what Starfield has in planets, it lacks in frames.
Shots fired.
With Bethesda's Todd Howard confirming the game will be locked to 30 FPS on both Xbox Series models.
I'm going to play it on PC.
Okay. That is hilarious.
But still, I hate it.
Yeah, it's real.
I mean, that shouldn't be a thing. And a picture a lot of people were sharing was the box, the Xbox Series X box that says 120 FPS. But from what I was hearing from devs, they can't program the game based on the X. They have to do it based on the S, the inferior version, because it has like a less powerful processor in it or something. And so devs really, really hate making games for the Xbox.
Me too.
Xbox owners deserve better. Sheesh. That's
Yes.
not all either. Bethesda's recent Starfield Direct offered a 45-minute deep dive into the game, causing many to accuse it of still having performance issues.
I mean, it clearly does. Yes.
NPC conversations and boring-looking combat.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, Death from Above didn't look boring at all. No, that looked, I mean, boring combat? What are people wanting from combat? Like, it's gunplay, it's shooting, and like the fact that you can approach it from several different angles is what's cool.
That's what Fallout was. But unlike some other recent 30 FPS flops, this Direct also hyped up tons of folks. I've seen a lot of really positive response on the internet about Starfield. They promised thousands of fully explorable planets, lots of weird aliens, and the ability to pile a bunch of stolen sandwiches in the back of your ship.
Yep, Bethesda magic.
Yeah.
Which is, that's what
Hell
we're
yeah.
looking at, right? What is it going to, Starfield going to be a technical mess where people just want
Probably. Yeah, probably at first. Most modern games are now. Like in their first few months, yep.
to roam around the galaxy and be little sandwich gremlins and they don't mind the bugs? Sheesh.
That's kind of sounds like fun. And it also sounds like Bethesda, but minus the mods, of course. And those are all going to come later. You know the ones.
Really, the biggest Bethesda move of all, this whole ordeal, was Todd Howard confirming to IGN that the game runs at 30 FPS on console. And that's a technical restraint that many now just consider woefully inadequate.
Specifically, Howard said the sci-fi adventure will run in 4K on the Series X and 1440p on the Series S. But here's the big one. They've locked Starfield at 30 FPS on consoles to ensure performance consistency, in quotes.
He added that, fortunately, in this one, we've got it running great. It's often running way above that. Sometimes it's 60. But on the consoles, we do lock it because we prefer the consistency where you're not even thinking about it.
Consistent quality without thinking about it? Why? It sounds like Todd is describing our sponsor for Inside Games, Factor 75.
Nope.
Today's episode of Inside Games is in minutes. And stay focused on.
Hey, here's an idea. Instead of wasting extra money on these services right here that actually price gouge you for food, just get a basic understanding of what you like to eat. Go buy those things in an inexpensive, like buy the cheap versions and make it yourself at home. Cooking is not hard. People make cooking so much harder than it has to be. And I've looked up all of these, like HelloFresh and all of these. They're for rich people, guys. They're for rich people. Normal people cannot afford this service at all. Most average income people cannot afford these services. You are better off just, I like to eat steak and rice. Go buy steak and rice. Oh, I like to eat tacos. Okay, just prep up a bunch of tacos. There's actually a channel that he gives you ingredients lists in a cheap, he has how to make fast food cheap and then how to make fast food super expensive kind of videos. He's really cool.
50% off your first box. This is pretty cool. Once you click, our description will actually update live to count up the purchases. So check it out. Better living through technology. Go to go.factor75.com and use code broken. The bad news to Xbox owners that Starfield will be locked to 30 FPS.
We really want to hipfire some hot takes about that.
How many times are you guys going to say that?
We'll save that for a bit.
Like, come on. Do you have anything else to say?
Usually save that stuff for the end of the episode. We'll get
It's an 18-minute episode.
there. Instead, we'll give YouTuber Dreamcast Guy the first shot in a now deleted tweet. Oh, wow. Okay. He accused the game of being
Lol, people mad that I said Starfield should be 60 FPS on a $500 console. Keep defending unfinished games, bros. Agree. There's a guy, I don't remember what his handle is, but he goes by like Booker DeWitt. Why are people using like, oh well, I mean, you know, they're popular for broken games, so that doesn't make what I'm saying invalid. That doesn't, yeah, like, unless you're buying an early access game where you know it's not finished and you're buying into it ahead of time because you like a Kickstarter, you understand the project and you want to support it. Yeah, no, it's been in development for quite a while. It's on an expensive console. Maybe finish the game, Bethesda?
unfinished. And then it should be 60 FPS on a $500 console.
He added, keep defending unfinished games, bros.
But people did.
Why is it deleted? Why did he delete it? That's
Starfield's defense, which I'm surprised about. Most notably, an artist who worked on God of War Ragnarok.
Danny Carlone, a senior
game dev here, big fan by the way, wanted to clarify. It's not a sign of an unfinished game, it's a choice. 60 FPS on this scale would be a large hit to the visual fidelity. My guess is they want to go for a seamless look and less pop-in, and of course, you're right to dislike the choice. Okay. My God. And I hate that, like, my brain makes me this person. Why don't people understand the proper version of your and your to use? Why do people not, like, proofread their messages before they hit send? I mean, I get it. Like, I get excited and I want to hit send. Like, I sent Naughty Dreadlock, like, oh yeah, I love seeing your love notifications. And it's like, clearly I meant live notifications, but like, huh? Anyway.
Your staff environment artist at Sony Santa Monica responded to Dreamcast Guy, which is a weird thing to say out loud, writing, wanted to clarify.
Added 60 FPS on this scale would be a large hit to the visual fidelity. My guess is they want to go for a seamless look and less pop-in.
Again, I got some takes, but I'm going to sit on them for now.
No.
Dreamcast Guy later apologized for his Starfield.
A lot of very nice game developers have explained to me why Starfield is 30 FPS, and I take back my, oh my God, this game is unfinished take. I still wish the game was 60 FPS on consoles, but now I understand why it isn't, at least not yet.
Unfinished take. Because it probably didn't end up being as popular as he thought it would be.
You're totally right. That's why he deleted the tweet. And Todd Howard
I
also
mean,
pointed
you
to
can, like, think... You don't have to delete
the
everything.
game as a reason for wanting to keep the visuals looking nice.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes the most sense on its surface. Pun partially intended there. He told IGN, I think it'll come as no surprise given our previous games what we go for. Always these huge open worlds, fully dynamic, hyper detailed where anything can happen. And we do want to do that.
Yeah, still though, the 30 FPS news comes on the heels of another Microsoft exclusive, which you all know and love, Redfall, which Microsoft showed running at 60 FPS before launch, only to release at a locked 30 FPS on the Series X and S, which a lot of people hated. Although they did promise to patch in a 60 FPS performance mode later for Redfall. They haven't done it yet, but they promised it.
Yeah, so hopefully they do, or that's not going to be great. Redfall's release was a disaster, really. Xbox boss Phil Spencer apologized for it, and specifically regretted the 60 FPS announcement and the subsequent rollback of it.
There are also not one but two open space flight games on Xbox Series X that can both run at 60 FPS. Both No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous have had 60 FPS modes for years now.
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to make direct comparisons there. Starfield's doing some things that those games don't.
I mean, yeah. Fair enough. I mean, if anything, it's taken both games and fused them together.
Can't. But still.
Well, No Man's Sky is doing one thing and Elite Dangerous is doing another.
When it's sitting right next to it, and it runs at 60 FPS, it's hard not to draw comparisons there. But really, it's just it's continuing to be a series of bad looks for the Xbox Series X, which was touted as the world's most powerful console, and here its rival, the PlayStation 5, seems to outperform it in a lot of games, or at least offer a lot of performance features that it doesn't.
I agree. This point was underscored earlier this year when the producers of another big name release, Final Fantasy 16, said that the PlayStation 5 was the only console powerful enough to run their game.
Specifically, apparently, they were talking about the capabilities
Wow.
of the PS5's SSD. You know, now that I've looked at the demo for about 10 minutes, I think I get why. Because it's finally starting to do cutscenes that just jump around to a lot of different perspectives. You can't really do that in-engine before. You always had to have like a cool camera motion tricking things and hiding stuff to load out assets. So I kind of get it. And that's,
Wait, there's
as far as I can tell, the first
there's
time
a
we've
demo?
seen PS5 SSDs.
Is that what he just said? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, I thought about even if there is a Final Fantasy demo, I wouldn't be able to get it. Demo. No, wait. I imagine it's not gonna be it's gonna be exclusive. I didn't look at anything in that.
The difference in a game.
Interesting.
So it's happening.
Yeah.
But not on the Series X.
Well, producer Naoki Yoshida told IGN, quote, "If we didn't have the memory that the PlayStation 5 has, and also the transfer speed of the SSD the PlayStation 5 has, we would still be in development right now."
Yeah. And to be fair to Xbox, it's not like every game runs at 30 FPS. Really, it's just a couple of high-profile ones. Turn 10 Studios' upcoming Forza Motorsport already looks really clean at 4K 60, and that's even an early gameplay demo.
Wow!
All right, so we held back
Oh
because
my
both
God,
Lawrence and I would love to
4K
talk about
60.
Starfield. What do we, you and I, think about Starfield. I know we're going to get a lot of comments, too, about what you think about Starfield, so please put them down there. We love to see them, but just don't insult us.
I'll tag you guys
for
in my
our
video.
opinions. That's the easy one.
Oh, you can't tell him that before I get going, Bruce. I'm going to earn
All
it.
right, Lawrence, well, you go right ahead, and I'll try and jump in.
Oh, let's go.
If I hear anything, I'm like, wait a
Ooh.
minute. But I think
I want to hear
Lawrence's
these hot
are pretty good
takes.
here.
Well, I'll lead with a sappy thing because Bruce, I agree. I'm heartened by how many people were actually just fundamentally excited about the trailer and what was shown. It's a little weird. Usually,
It looked good. Like, frame rate. I'm on PC. I don't give a shit. Frame rate problems aside, I didn't even realize that was a thing only for console. I thought it was just a thing that was happening in their games. And that means that, you know, I remember playing Elden Ring on day one. It was rough. It was rough. It was rough. So I tend to understand that games have, like, newer games have a window of, okay, we put out this game, it's done, but there's bugs. Okay, we'll get them fixed, and then, you know, in a month or two, it will be what everybody wanted it to be for all intents and purposes.
people's expectations are impossible to satisfy.
Yes.
But
My God.
I don't get why, I'll be honest, but that direct did it for a lot of people. They're just hyper excited to play Starfield now, so that's great. I hope that they have a lot of fun. And before I get to it, I'll do a little more diplomatic posturing. I think I've come to acknowledge that Starfield is just not for me, or the games that Bethesda games for me.
What?
I like kind of mechanically dense gamer games where you got to hit buttons and move around a lot.
These are not gamer
really
games.
what they're going for.
Yeah, these are casual games for sure.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as I turn that mental thing, and also appreciate the fact that the Xbox platform has a lot of gamer games. You know, it's got. I mean, Outer Worlds is more gamery. Avowed is coming up. They showed that too. So once I sort of separate those things, but still, I don't know. It sucks, man.
Yeah,
It sucks. It doesn't look that good to be 30 FPS. It doesn't. And even the tech of like, 1,000 planets, whatever. You should. It's 2023, man. We should have planets at 60 FPS. What really gets me is that it.
Oh my God. I paused it at just the right moment too. That's great. I went hold on. Snipping tool. We're just gonna use that as the as the thumbnail. Yes, please. All right,
It
continue.
already is doing all the trade-offs you'd normally have to do to get to 60. But it's like you can't be in the plane when you take off. You don't have open flight on a planet as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So you're locked to walk speed pretty much, or jetpack speed, to reduce the amount of like buffer or texture flow you have to do or whatever. That's
Oh, I didn't even think about that or hear that or acknowledge that. That sucks. Why are you tasting so bad? That sucks. You are locked, or, well, there's no, like, on-planet flight? Ugh.
it's already a move to get the like your data pipeline in process for your frame rate. I think
I would agree. I completely agree with you.
it's not all the way that it looks. It ought to run at 60, and that should be like, oh, okay, we can't fly around because of that. But no, it's all those things plus 30, and that's if you bought a Series
Yes.
X, ostensibly you were paying into a high-tech boutique experience. And I thought they even telegraphed that. They supported 120 hertz and variable rate refresh at launch. So I was like, okay, cool. This is like a tech console for like bleeding edge enthusiasts that have like high refresh displays and want that like real gamer experience. But PS5 has patched those things in, and it seems like more of the higher profile games use those features than the Series X has.
Yeah, I agree.
To gut check myself, and I'm almost out of air here, but to gut check myself, I actually did look up a list of like supported 120 FPS games.
Okay.
And Series X actually has a way longer list
Oh.
than PS5 does.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's cool. It's just a bummer that it seems like there's a series like Halo Infinite and now like Redfall. I don't know if that was super high profile, but their biggest names don't often seem to back it up with their biggest tech.
Sure.
And that sucks because that was ostensibly the potential of the Series X in the first place.
I completely. So I agree with you. All that really, really good. I don't even think they're takes, Lawrence. I think you're just kind of just stating facts generally. And you know, it's totally fine if the game isn't for you. This game is absolutely for me. I can't wait. I'm very, very
Yeah,
excited.
thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
I think it's funny with.
I love
Cyberpunk.
everything.
Cyberpunk
I mean,
came out,
like, the
even
atmosphere
on
seems
console,
really cool.
I
I'm like a
saw people
space.
play
I
on
like
console,
space.
and
Like,
it was definitely not 60 frames a second. I was still watching it and enjoying it. I played it
Yeah.
on PC, obviously the
Same.
superior platform.
My
but
boy.
It kind of didn't bother me. And we have other examples of games that are in 30 FPS that are amazing, like Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom just came out. I was very skeptical about that game when it came out. I was like, 30 FPS? I don't know. And it didn't matter. I played it on Switch. I played 50 hours of it. Loved every minute of it. Didn't matter to me at all. Now, I do think Starfield will suffer.
okay, so, like, that is kind of weird, people being like, Tears of the Kingdom should be 60 FPS. I mean, like, Breath of the Wild was 30 FPS for a long time. I mean, I run it at 60 now because I can, but I mean, and there are like, for the emulator groups online, there are like 60 FPS patches you can get for Tears of the Kingdom, but they don't run properly, or at least I can't get them to run properly.
At 30 FPS versus Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because Starfield's supposed to be a little more realistic graphics. So I think that is going to cause some issues. That's
I feel like first person is also a thing.
Oh yeah, I think could you cycle between third and first person for Starfield?
It seems like
Yeah.
I think you do. And
They did it. They said that at the beginning.
I understand why people are upset about this, but I don't necessarily like. How do I put this? Zelda and Diablo, these are games that have like the scale of them. I kind of didn't really even comprehend until I played them. And I was like, oh, okay, I think I understand the trade-offs that Zelda had to make because the game is so big. Now, if Starfield has that same scale, I'll be like, I get it. I understand. There are literally thousands of planets. Each one has a base. You can go there and you talk to people. Like, there's this immense scale with amazing replayability. I'll be like, 30 FPS on console, no sweat, Todd. It's fun. However, if I go to 3 bases and explore 4 planets and I'm like, well, I feel like I beat the game, and it's running at 30 FPS, and I'm like, wow, hold on a minute. Why did they do it that way? So there's a lot of things we don't know. And I'm just so thankful I'm playing it on PC.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a really good point, Bruce. I think the thing is, you talk about needing to understand the vision or the scope of a game, or be sold on its virtues, I guess. And that, the headspace of that, especially for Tears of the Kingdom, and especially Diablo 4, 2 very good examples. I didn't see that in the direct, and I thought, gosh, with 40 minutes, like the second I saw fusing in Zelda, I was like, boom, they got it, bang, like mind explode. Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That this game can hang itself on and just be an amazing experience. I didn't see that in the direct, but it seems like some people did. The way people reacted to it, they were like, that's the one, that's it, that's the feature I needed. So that's cool, and I'm trying to be really happy.
You don't have to be happy if hey, whatever. If the game if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's okay. All right.
Yeah, what I think is really folks deserve a pat on the back more is just being genuinely positive in comment sections, and because I was rooting around. There are some people who were really trying to dust it up about performance and stuff like that. But yeah, mostly it just seems like it's a lot of genuine enthusiasm, so that's always exciting to see.
Yeah, when I was watching it, I was excited, and I was like, oh boy, people are not going to like this, even though I like it. And then I saw on the internet that everybody's having a great time with it. I was like, whoa, okay, all right, people are into it. So I don't think this has the makings of a Redfall, because Redfall already sort of was like had stuff against it, and then that 30 FPS news came out where it was locked to 30 on consoles, and everyone's like, bleh, like just kind of like immediately shit on it. So hopefully, I don't think Starfield has the Redfall problem right now.
I worry a little bit with how happy some people are that it does, because there was some verbiage in the trailer that was dangerous. That was like, you could be whoever you want, and whatever you want to do, you could just go in space and do it. And I'm like, why are you don't say this, man. This is not healthy to say.
They always say that.
I know.
They say that about every video game they make.
I guess when it comes to Bethesda, though, that's the thing. Bethesda games can get away with it. I don't get it, man. They will promise the world and underdeliver, and people are like, great, good shit. Crashes 8 times, I don't care. I'm having a good time. And again, I'm trying to, it's a puzzle I'm trying to figure out. I'm happy that people aren't mad. I just don't get why it seems like there's a double standard, and somehow Bethesda Game Studios gets the benefit of it. So,
yeah,
but those things, it's interesting too, because those things you're describing, like it crashes 8 times and it's got boring combat, and like, I mean, like at launch, Cyberpunk did that.
That's true.
And like it crashed for a lot of people, and people were still having fun with it. I was having fun with it. So it's kind of an interesting thing that I don't, maybe you liked the aesthetic of Cyberpunk more than Starfield. Maybe that's what it was. Because Cyberpunk felt so much like Skyrim to me when I played it, because it was just like so stupid. The AI was dumb, and like you like again, you glitch through the car naked and stuff like that. Like I love that stuff. And a lot of people are like, this is supposed to be the perfect future RPG, and I was like, what? This is fucking Sky. It's a video game. So to me, it looks like that, and I'm on board for both of them, Starfield and Cyberpunk. So I don't know. That's maybe look at it with that lens. Maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Oh man, the NPCs have got to be weird. God damn, if the NPCs in this game are boring, that's it. Wrap it up. But if they're just kind of like weird and off, if it's just a whole universe of Oblivion guards, then we got it. We got it, right?
we got it.
I just hope it's still there.
We have a new source of
like,
memes.
I wanted to see that, and they crammed in the fan, right, as a big old meme reference, and the table full of sandwiches, and I'm like, okay, cool. But I want to see some weird shit. I'm hoping it's in there.
Me too.
I'm hoping
so
it's in
Yami,
there.
who you might know,
I want Doctor Who references. That's what I want.
Games occasionally. She's helping somebody move right now, but she's extremely excited for Starfield. She said she's not going to leave her house for weeks when it comes out, so she would have been here also excited about Starfield along with me to offset Lawrence if you're upset at Lawrence.
Yeah, I was hoping to ask her about it actually. I mean, I could just text her, but she loves gamer games. She's like all about logistics games and spreadsheets and balancing budgets and city sims and stuff. So for a game like Starfield, which is very much like a 1 IQ explore the galaxy kind of game, I was curious about that. So yeah,
a 1 IQ. Oh man,
what's wrong with you?
Why do you love shotguns so much? They look so boring. Hey, these Inside Games patrons on our Patreon, you can support us to make videos like we just made this one. They believe that every single word Todd Howard has ever said was true. Sketchy on Patreon, Gypsy Nova, Cash Putnam, UASC Battleroy, Dana Ottman, and Jay Embers all love Uncle Todd.
Uncle Todd.
I got some patrons here that are ahead of the game. Loving Todd is one thing, but these patrons have already modded some big old tits onto every moon in the universe. Good job, everyone. Christian Morgan Anderson, James Bowser, Ryan Daraberry, Notgak, Brian Cosner, and Kyle Heaton. Thank you for sculpting the galaxy like an artist. That would probably throw off their orbit, you think?
I mean, it would, but you know what? It'd be worth it.
Didn't see any titty planets in Starfield Direct, did we?
Oh, you will. You will.
Oh, man, yeah, there's going to be like a genital galaxy.
A genital galaxy, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I had seen that it was canceled. Man, they really pulled the rug out from everybody, didn't they?